going on, Auburn fans and YouTube community? Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. Talking Auburn football, go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe. As always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. A lot of stuff going on. Auburn has a defensive line coach. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. But what I do want to talk about is the 2021 Auburn football schedule. Finally, Auburn has a schedule that actually kind of sort of makes sense. Now, it's kind of a cupcake schedule to begin with, but it's a schedule that can kind of have a soft landing for Bryan Harsin, Bo Nix, the struggles at the offensive line that can kind of ease Auburn into what could be a rigorous stretch. And I think we need to talk about that because one of the biggest questions was, how is Bryan Harsin going to kind of orientate himself in the SEC as far as a head football coach, especially a guy who has been at Boise State, which I think, given the fact that he was at Boise State, he always had the top recruiting classes of that particular conference, but still in the latter portion of the 50s and 60s as far as recruiting rankings as it compares to the rest of college football. So let's look at this real quick. The thing I want to really look at is the first 4 games. Auburn starts the season out with Akron. That is a soft landing for the Auburn Tigers. That gives them the opportunity to kind of fine-tune, to kind of see what they're going to be looking at for the rest of the season. Then the next week, you have Alabama State. Now, this is a team that has been a mainstay on Auburn's schedule, a SWAC conference foe, a team that historically in the SWAC conference has actually had some success. You talk about coaches like Eddie Robinson back in the day. You talk about guys like, Barlow. What's his name? His last name is Barlow. And they've had some success in the FCS, and that will give the Auburn Tigers an opportunity to really fine-tune some things for 2 straight weeks. Then you look at the possibility of Penn State. Now, Penn State probably won't be the same Penn State that we're accustomed to, but the nomenclature of Penn State, a win there will be huge for Auburn. Absolutely huge. That's going to be an away game. They're going to have to face Penn State in Happy Valley. But I think given the totality of circumstance, that's a game that Auburn should win, especially when I think about this coaching staff. And I'm going to do a video on this. When I think about this coaching staff that Auburn has pieced together, now they've got a defensive line coach, a young coach that is probably excited to recruit at the Power 5 level. I think this is going to be a very interesting game for Auburn, and if they can win this particular football game from a perception standpoint, I think this could be really huge for Auburn. So you look at this, and you got a situation where you got Penn State, Georgia State, and then you ease into LSU, who is trying to piece together some things there. You could be talking about a 5-0 football team for the Auburn Tigers under the first year of Bryan Harsin going into a home game against Georgia. Now, Georgia will be ultra talented, and they have been, and it makes sense. They've recruited in the top 5 ever since Kirby Smart has come onto the scene at Georgia. But when you talk about a team that is 5-0, mentality-wise, you talk about a team that's 5-0, possibly, it's something that happens to a group of guys when they are winning. It gives you the mental and it gives you the physical confidence that you can beat anybody. A possibility that Auburn will be 5-0, ranked in the top 15 easy because of a win possibly over Penn State, that sets up a serious showdown at home against Georgia, who hasn't traditionally played well in Auburn. You guys better watch out. This is going to be something to see. I'm going to have some more content about the new defensive line coach hire. I think it's an excellent hire, especially from energetic and youthfulness recruiting-wise. Like the video, comment, and subscribe. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger. War Eagle.